So let's take a look at these two conclusions. Remember, we're looking for these conclusions to restate the thesis, review the reasons their thesis is correct, refute the counterclaim, if applicable, and call to action. So remember, the refute the counterclaim only needs to be present if we haven't included it in the body paragraphs. It's optional for your argumentative essay. So let's look at the first one. Social media is destructive and should be banned from all students' lives. Students who use social media don't do well in school. This is unacceptable and should be stopped. Okay, well, obviously the thesis statement is that social media is bad for you and should be banned from your life, right? One of the reasons is that students don't do well in school and it's unacceptable and should be stopped. So, okay, we have the reasons, I guess, technically are all present. It's not a great conclusion because it doesn't expand. It doesn't give us all of the reasons. It doesn't review all the reasons. And if this is the only reason that was used in the essay, then the whole essay is probably not very good. It also states it is unacceptable and should be stopped, but it doesn't explain how we can do that. It doesn't call to action. It does say it should be stopped, but in what way? It might say we should stop using social media, but it doesn't give us any clarification to that point. So I would say this is a mediocre thesis statement. It's not clear, it's not concise, it's not specific enough. Even though it kind of checks our boxes, it doesn't completely check them. The second option, although social media is a present entity in the lives of most people, we need to regulate our use of this medium. As parents, it is our responsibility to limit the time our children have access to social media. Students who have unlimited access to social media perform worse in school, have higher levels of stress, and have a more difficult time finding employment. Next time your child wants to engage in social media, have a conversation with him or her about the benefits of eliminating this media from his or her life. Okay, much better, because we understand the thesis statement is that social media is destructive, but the language isn't quite as harsh, so it's a little bit more relatable. It does have a bit of a counterclaim, not really, but it says although social media is a present entity, doesn't really identify the counterclaim of it being useful. So the counterclaim is fairly non-existent, which is okay, especially for our purposes. But the reasons, it reviews that students who have unlimited access perform worse in school, that they have higher levels of stress, and they have a difficult time finding employment. So it's reviewing the reasons from the essay as to why social media can be destructive. Next, the call to action. Next time your child wants to engage in social media, have a conversation with him or her about the benefits of eliminating this media from his or her life. So it doesn't say you have to cut it out cold turkey. It doesn't pass any judgment, but it does say you should have a conversation about the destructiveness of this media so that students understand why it can be destructive to them. So that's definitely a good call to action at the end there. Let me know if you guys have any questions. You're going to look, the last step in this quiz is to just take a look at a conclusion and identify the elements of a good conclusion and explain why the conclusion is effective. Otherwise, have a pleasant day.